Yesterday were beautiful, as was the flyover at the end. It was so majestic and so very appropriate, right, as a final send-off to Brigadier General McGee. Now we have a series of special tributes from people and organizations that were special to Brigadier General McGee. We begin with the Tuskegee Airman Representative Gabriel Christian.
Let's give a round of applause for our wonderful talk. Happy Executive Order, other members of the Council. I recognize the family of Brigadier General McGee because to be what he did not be required an enabling environment and so to aim to go on and be on. God bless you all. Brothers and sisters, dear beloved, General McGee dedicated himself not simply to African Americans, not simply to those who served in the U.S. Armed Forces. He dedicated himself to all humanity. In so doing, he leaves us a legacy that will ask of us what shall be the quality of our service. Before I speak about the 4 P's of progress, which were the sort of emblematic terms that he lived every day with, I want to recognize the president of our chapter, Jerome Hodge, a serviceman. Jerome, can you raise your hand? Mr. Hodge continues as president of the East Coast chapter of Tuskegee Airman Incorporated, that legacy of service in aviation education, working very closely with General McGee's daughter, Yvonne, who is the pilot and the director of our youth in aviation program. We want to thank you for your work. We also have children here at Tuskegee who belong to the association. We've got Rosemary Crump. We've got Diane Moore. Let's also compliment them for keeping alive the tradition of the parents of service to our country. We have one of the last members of our class, Tuskegee Airman, who stood up when others on the sat down, and that's Mr. William Fortroy. God bless you, Mr. Fortroy. Welcome, original Tuskegee Airman. Let's give it up. Let's give it up. While a lot of folks in the age are just, chilling out, it's a point for me to his duty to join us oftentimes at the College Park Aviation Museum to encourage others. To encourage others to do what General McGee wanted us to do. And what was General McGee's mantra? The 4 P's of purposeful living and the 4 P's of progress. First, and this library here that we have behind us this morning will be essential in that task. He wanted us to tell all young people and for all of us to first of all perceive your environment. What are the needs of your community? What are the needs of your country? And once you perceive that, then he wanted you to engage in the 2nd P, prepare. That means go to the library. Read a book. That means mentor someone else. That means talk to your elders. Learn about which they have done. Because, council members, council executive, our experiences are educational and may inform us in what it is we should do. Once we've prepared ourselves, we then have to perform. It's not about having knowledge in your head and not sharing it. Only multiplies when you share that knowledge with others as he did. So he said then you should perform. Now, when you perform, oftentimes, as the Tuskegee Airmen discovered, there are obstacles in your way. There might be a boulder in the road, word of prejudice, misunderstanding. So he then said to us, the 4th and final P, we must at all times persevere, and persevere he did. So all of you, if there's not a young person you're mentoring, find one. For all of you, if you've done receive the needs of your community, get into that sense of perception. And if you are full of knowledge and you're full of skill and you're not performing and contributing, then begin to do that. And finally, be willing to overcome. I want to close at this Juneteenth weekend, the day after which we buried our friend and brother, or Malcolm, in so many respects, and make a call to all of us to understand that the Tuskegee Airmen really represented the best of the United States because it represented inclusivity. It wasn't just African Americans. Highest award you can get as a Tuskegee Airman Associate is the Noel Parish Award. I want all of you to go into your phones after this event and to look up Noel Parish. Noel Parish was a white Kentucky-born cavalry officer. But he was the one, a boy born in the difficult Jim Crow era, racial prejudice, was able to overcome the strictures and prejudice that he knew, and who was able to protect the African Americans and others in a very difficult time in history. And the airmen will tell you, if it had not been for the nobility of this white Southern-born cavalry officer, Noel Parish, the Tuskegee Airmen would never have been. Let's hear it from Noel Parish, brothers and sisters. The Tuskegee Airmen indeed represents for our country a coming together over prejudice, a coming together over hate, a coming together regardless of whether you're Jew or Gentile, Protestant or Catholic, whether you're black or white, whether you're Asian American or Hispanic, whether you're Native American, brothers and sisters. The word Tuskegee comes from the Native American tradition of the Cherokee and Muscogee people, which means warrior. How interesting that it has a root in the original indigenous people of the United States. Let's hear it from the Native Americans, brothers and sisters. As we leave here today, as we leave here imbued with that belief that the Tuskegee Airmen represents the best of us, let's go forth into our communities and let us be that kind and gracious and graceful and loving and uniting personality that General McGee was. Those of us in the East Coast chapter of Tuskegee Airmen ask God's blessings in his family. We ask God's blessings in our community. We ask God's blessings on the world. Let us remember him because he appealed to the better angels of our nature. Thank you very much.